What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Goldguy YouTube channel, and welcome back to the TS185 restoration. The photo shoot is all done, and this bike is already looking good. I can already see it coming together. Now I just have to basically put the pieces of the puzzle together. So if you're new to this channel and new to this build, you know that I started this restoration about a year ago. I've been working on it over the winter and spring and fall. I've got the engine fully rebuilt from the bottom end to the top end. I've got it painted nice, got the exhaust cleaned up and painted, and I even made this homemade custom muffler. I packed it myself, all my own fabricating. I reupholstered the seat. I cleaned out and sealed and basically rebuilt the gas tank. It was filled with rust holes. I really just tried to use as many of the original parts as I could, and that was very tough because this bike was sitting outside for like 10 to 20 years, just rusting away. Everything was frozen when I got it. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you haven't seen this full restoration, I suggest you watch that first, just to know how far I have come, how long this journey has been, or you can just watch the reassembly. Honestly, it's up to you. I don't even know where to start, guys. I guess we should get a rolling chassis going first, so that means the front forks and both wheels and the swing arm have to go on the frame, and after that I guess we'll do the engine, I don't know, the exhaust. We'll go from there. I've got all these long bolts. I don't even remember which one goes to the swing arm. I think it's this one here. So here are these little kind of like bearing things. There's an O-ring in there and a washer that goes right there. I'm going to be using this heavy duty grease on all the axles and everything that is metal against metal. It's mallet time. And finally the nut. I'm just gonna get everything finger tight for now, and then I'll snug it up later. It's got a nice action to it though. Now here are the shocks. I still have to restore these, but for now I'm just gonna throw them on there. Forgot all the washers and stuff. Kind of a little bit important. I just recovered all the ball bearings for the fork neck, so let's go ahead and put the front forks in the frame. First I'm gonna load up some grease. This little bearing channel here. And then let's drop these balls in. There we go, ready to rock and roll. And then this top bearing goes in. Pack some grease on top, and now this piece goes on. It's kind of like a outer bearing race for the top, and then this nut goes on. These pliers actually work kind of good for this kind of thing. I couldn't find any of my channel locks. Wow, I feel dumb. It's backwards, duh. It's supposed to swing out the other way. Alright, it's fixed. Now we can actually steer the damn thing. And I got it tight enough to where it moves pretty smooth, but it's not too loose. About as tight as I could get it, actually. So next, this plastic cap thing goes on like that. Just a little bit of grease up here, because this is kind of a metal on metal situation. And then we've got this interesting shaped washer. Goes on first, and then big old bolt. And there we go. And again, just finger tight until everything's assembled, then I'll torque everything down at the same time. Alright, it's time to get the wheels on. Start off with the front. First of all, this front brake drum here. This little worm gear there is the speedometer drive gear. And then the speedometer cable attaches right here. So this whole area needs packed with grease. And then there's the seal that goes right in there, it seals it up. And then the inside of the wheel will push on the inside of this seal and everything will be sealed up. When I say I'm packing something with grease, I'm not messing around anymore. I spent too much of my life not using grease at all. Now it's time to use the hell out of some grease. Now the seal goes in. Now I only want grease inside where the seal is. I don't want any around where the brake pads go, because brakes and grease don't mix. Just some solvent there. And then it'll just pop right into place, just like that. Alright, here we go. It's time for the rear wheel. Luckily, I was smart enough to put everything on the rear axle how it goes. So first we got the chain tensioner, a spacer, and then some kind of bushing washer thing, and then the other chain tensioner and the castle nut. I think it goes this way. Okay. Axle, and now we got to get the wheel in there. I just had flashbacks of how hard this damn axle was to remove. So I'm gonna lather it up with some grease so it doesn't get seized up. Then this spacer goes in like this. Then this nut goes on. And then the castle nut. And there we go, rear wheel is on. Now onto the front. The front should be much easier, but well, we'll see. I think it would be dumb not to set the frame up on something. So I got this motorcycle stand here. Let's set it up. Wow, that's gonna make this a little bit easier. Alright. Now the wheel goes in this way. Slap the axle in there. I have a feeling this should be a castle nut here, but for the time being, just gonna use this nut that I have and split ring washer. I'm gonna fix this eventually, but for now that's good enough. Well, now I've got a rolling chassis, so I guess the next thing to do would be to slap the engine in there. Alright, let's slap this bad boy in there. Should be pretty easy. There we go, we're lined up. Alright, so now I just need the bolts. There we go, engine mount got everything I need in here. There's that triangle that goes in there. Here's all the engine mounting hardware. Gotta get this stuff cleaned up a little bit first. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. That leaves these two to go on the bottom. Go right there for the gas tank. There we go, that wasn't too bad. Just had to take the metal part and the inside out first. Perfect. Next up, I'm going to mount the exhaust up. First, I gotta find the bolts and the spring and all the hardware and stuff. There we go. I'm so glad I bagged and tagged all these bolts. Definitely helped in the long run. That spring and all the bolts and stuff. Spring goes somewhere. Oh yeah, right there. There we go. It's really starting to come together now. I wonder if this muffler I made even fits. Oh, it looks like it's gonna fit. Nice. I don't know why, but my bike just won't drive straight. That would be because these are loose. Audio that thing. So now it's time to get this, I don't know what to call it. I think it's homemade, but anyway, it was attached to the frame and it goes right here. I think it's just to prevent the wheel from splashing up inside this area. So this probably would have been easier to get in before the exhaust, but we'll see if we can sneak it in there somehow. There we go. And next the ignition unit goes in, or the CDI, whatever you want to call it, really. The thing that makes the spark happen. Now the actual ignition coil back on. I only have one screw this side, so it will have to do for now. At least it'll hold it in place. Now the carburetor goes back on. I just gave it a fresh spring cleaning. It was already clean, but I just sprayed it off and sprayed the jets out one more time. Just so I know that when I try to start this thing up, that it's clean. There we go, that was easy. Tighten the old thing down. And then the air filter. But first I want to give it some fresh K&N air filter oil. The Kickstarter needs to be painted, but I'm just going to slap it on there for now because I want to start this thing up. And the shifter, this also needs painted. Alright, now it's time to torque down some of the bolts. I'm just going to be torquing down the front axle bolt, the triple tree clamp bolts, and the swing arm bolt. I'm not going to do the rear axle bolt yet because I still need to put a chain on there and tension the chain and everything. But I'm going to be using my manual, which has all the torque specs, so let's click some stuff down. There we go, 35 foot-pounds. Next is the fork tube bolts, which the lower ones are 14 to 21 and the upper ones are 13 to 21. 15 foot-pounds it is. Maybe a little higher. We'll go 20. And then the top two, 20 as well. And then the rear swing arm pivot shaft nut is pretty high, 32 to 50. I'm pretty sure the first number is the initial tightening, and then the second number is like after it adjusts. I don't know. Gonna start out at like 40, and we'll adjust it later on to 52 or whatever it was supposed to be. And now the rear brake stay bar goes into place. And I know what this is called, only thanks to you guys in the comments. Damn it. And now the brake drum actuator lever things. Don't know what the proper name for these is, but you know what they are. These go on next. These are definitely easier to get on with the wheel off the bike, where you can hold the thing on the inside. Alright, so I just gave the oil tank a bit of a bath, got it as clean as I've ever seen it, and I painted some of the brackets. And so let's put all this back together and get it on the bike. So this is the bracket, just mounts like that. And then there's this rubber elastic kind of band thing, and that latches on just like that, and that's it. There's the oil tank. Now we can mount it in the frame. Yeah, that looks right. Can someone tell me if any of this looks stock? If you have a bike this same year, does this look original or homemade? Because I'm dying to know. Alright, looks like that'll fit. Looks like I got it in there right. Now this piece along with the front fender is going to need painted or wrapped in something, not sure yet. Here we go, the oil tank is hooked up to the oil pump. This video is done. Most of the reassembly is completed. There's still some little things, a lot of little things that need to be done before this bike is finished. I'm sure a lot of you guys have noticed some of them, like the Kickstarter needs painted. The seat isn't actually bolted on. I need to make some adjustments to get it to fit better. I need a clamp for the muffler, but I gotta say, that thing looks good on there. And it is awfully close to the seat, so I might need a little bit of a heat shield or something. Oh yeah, the front fender's missing, so the plastics are going to need some kind of paint or something on them. None of the wiring's really done. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff still to do, but I think I got a good bit of stuff done in this video. So if you guys enjoyed it, if you are getting hyped for the end of this build, leave a like. and comment down below what you guys think. I guess the next video is probably going to be the first start after rebuild, because I put some two-stroke oil in the cylinder, so I'm not scratching metal on metal. It's alright, but it's got good compression. It's got a good feel to it. Yes, stay tuned guys. Soon, this week, I'm going to be starting this bike up for the first time after rebuild. Oh yeah, and the rear fender is just sitting there. It's not bolted in either. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss a video ever again on my channel. I hope you guys like how this is turning out, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.